Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum and a delightful morning to everyone. Esteemed professor, doctors, and our distinguished attendees, let's inaugurate our webinar session today by honoring the Kitab Surah Al-Fatiha. To the esteemed Dr. Thava Kanisan, our spotlight speaker for today, and to everyone lending us their time and curiosity. Welcome everyone and thank you for joining us for today's webinar on Thesis Literature Metrics, Litmaps AI, Google Scholar, and Literature Writing. Thank you for converging here. I am Abrar bin Kamal as your moderator for this enlightening 2 hours journey. Before we proceed, I would like to raise your attention to several matters. First, kindly ensure your microphones are on mute to provide a clear soundscape during our discussions. Next, got a burning question? Simply raise your virtual hand and we'll bring you into the conversation. Alternatively, type away in our chat box and we will circle back during our question and session. Stick around, we have got a little something for those who will stay till the end. A link for the attendance will be shared in the concluding minutes and will remain active for 15 minutes. Thank you for your cooperation. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, for your information, today's webinar is the fourth in a series of writing masterclass with Dr. Thava. For your information too, the objectives of the webinar are critical design of literature, what are the right question to ask, critical review to literature metrics with the Google Scholar, and Litmap AI and literature metrics interpretations in Thesis. So our webinar today is honored with the presence of Dr. Thava. Thank you for having us, Doctor.
Thank you, Abrar. Thank you very much. Thanks for hosting today. Okay, so shall we get started? Cannot hear you.
Okay, Doctor. We can start.
Okay, can start. Introduction done.
Correct.
Okay, all right, excellent. Thank you so much, Abrar. Okay, so first of all, thank you very much, Dr. Khairun as well, Dr. Khairun Nisa, for organizing, and also the entire organizing and management committee also of UiTM Perlis for continuously doing this and for continuously allocating time to do such important talks. So with that, let me share my screen. Okay, everyone please open your chat box. Very good morning, everyone. I hope you guys are okay. Hope all of you had a very good weekend. Let me know if everything is okay. Can you hear me clearly? Can you see my slides clearly? Can you also see me in front of the video? Please let me know in the chat box or with a thumbs up also can. Okay, excellent. Okay, brilliant. All right, so before we start, to all the UiTM participants, to all the UiTM participants, please check out your chat box. If you have not joined our WhatsApp group yet, dedicated onto UiTM, for UiTM, here is the link to our WhatsApp group. So take 1 minute. All of you, please join our WhatsApp group so that you won't miss out on any future classes. Okay, this one dedicated. So me and Dr. Khairun and all the management people from UiTM, they are all in this group. So if you have not joined, please kindly join. This is the moment for you to join. And all future classes, Facebook Live classes, everything will be shared in this as much as Dr. Khairun will email everyone, but this group is to make sure that everyone also don't miss out. Okay, so if you have not joined, the group link is given in the chat box. Please click that and join immediately. About 40 seconds to go, and then we will start immediately. Okay, so I think everyone joined already. Okay, so people are still joining. Okay, you guys can continue joining. Continue joining. And meanwhile, I'll get us started. So, firstly, today is our last class for this year, 2023. We are already at 20th November now. I think in 1 month and 10 days, this entire year is completed. We had a very successful run, very, very good run for this year. I'll close up the WhatsApp first, otherwise it'll keep making sound. So close that. I'll share again the WhatsApp link later. Don't worry about it. So we had very, very successful 3 classes conducted. Last year we had very important classes. So the year before also we had. I would also like to thank Dr. Erniza for always allowing and always coming forward to organize more and more classes together with Dr. Khairul. Today we are at the 4th class, which we're going to focus on thesis literature matrix. Okay, that's what we're going to focus on. Literature matrix is a very, very important tool for people usually in computer science, sorry, not computer, social sciences, information systems, business management, accounting, finance, and so on. Not everyone does it, but it's a very good tool to do. And people from engineering, physics, medical, and so on, they don't really do it very frequently. So today we are going to break the ice over how all of us can actually focus and strategize on quickly producing literature matrix. Okay, especially for people who find it very hard to get a research gap, to get a research title or research topic, or although already finished proposal but still cannot find the gap, supervisor still not allowing to go for proposal defense because the proposal is still not convincing enough. And also for those who never did well in the proposal defense. This literature matrix would actually open up new avenues for you to figure out new research ideas. And the good part about literature matrix is the one that you design for your chapter 1 to 3 can be cross-applied. Okay, we call that cross-applied. Cross-applied to your publications as well, whether you write systematic review, whether you write narrative review, whether you write empirical papers. This literature matrix, you can just take it out and plug in into your publication, provided, okay, remember this, provided the word count allows. Now, these publications are quite strict. They are limiting to some even 4,000 words only. Some, they allow up to 6,000, 8,000 words. Very rarely, they allow more than 10,000 words. So please take note on that. So with that, for literature matrix, we are going to explore Litmaps, a paid AI tool. Paid, mind that particular word, paid tool. And I would also like to announce a disclaimer. We are not selling this tool. Okay, we are not selling it. We are not promoting it in any manner possible. So if you want to purchase it, you can go to the website directly. Okay, and then you can also, we're also going to explore a free tool, Google Scholar, how to use Google Scholar to produce literature matrix very quickly. Okay, and then from there, we will look at literature writing. How can you produce very quickly? Okay, literature matrix is usually a workshop that people conduct within for 1 to 2 days. So today we only have 2 hours. And in that 2 hours, we're going to go through very quickly to see how we can get the end result. Okay, very efficiently, most importantly. Okay, so I'm going to skip this. I think most of you from UITM know me. I've been teaching UITM for a very, very long time, not only in Perlis, but many different UITMs and faculties all across Malaysia. So I'm going to skip this. I'm going to go to this directly. So we are proofreading by UK PhD. So it's a bit too early. All right. We are based in Cyberjaya, right? We are an ISO 9001-2015 certified academic consulting firm, the only one in Malaysia, one of the few in the world. We are also recognized and endorsed by SFEP and also Human Resource Ministry recognized academic consulting firm. Okay, we have presence in about 34 different countries. That is where we do businesses widely. We are also official proofreading MOU in progress with progress and completed with some of these institutions. UITM MOU successfully we completed last year, December. Very proud of it to finish that very important milestone. Hence the results of all these classes and so on. And to date, we have completed more than 32,817 documents, okay, proofreading, consulting, coaching, and whatnot. That includes 21,000 plus theses, 11,000 plus publications between Web of Science and Scopus, and the rest are, smaller portions of grants and CVs. Okay, and for today's class, Literature Matrix is going to have very important weightage on thesis development, proposal development, publication development, and thesis to journal conversion as well. And as well as very, very importantly, we're going to explore on the language part as well. All right. So to all the participants today, please be very active in your chat box. Ask questions as we go. Participate actively. If you're doing anything else, if you're attending a meeting, you're viewing something else and so on, stop doing all of that. Give your unparalleled attention here. Okay. All right. So I think UITM mostly knows my Facebook live classes, but I still have to ask, how many of you here don't know that I have a lot of free classes in a playlist, about 129 classes on Facebook that you can go and watch and learn for free? That includes research gap and topic exploration, thesis strategies for minor correction, writing PhD master's research proposal, literature matrix design. This is slightly a different kind of class. Literature review with Scopus, Web of Science, and so on. How many of you don't know that these classes exist on Facebook that you can go and watch for free and learn whenever you are free? Please let me know in the chat box if you guys don't know about this. Very good morning, Zuraida. Very good morning. Let's see how many of you are actually pretty new. So whoever new, please comment in the chat box. Okay. Good morning. Good morning. Okay. So we have a lot of new joiners today. So for their benefit, let me quickly share. This is my Facebook page. Okay, this is where usually I share a lot of resources on daily basis. Here is the link to my Facebook page. You can quickly click it, click that particular link, and you'll basically arrive here. Okay, once you arrive here, you can click follow button. All right, you can click this follow button somewhere here, and then you can click it again. No, see, I think you can configure your headset lah, because everyone else can hear. Try to change the settings. Okay. So and once you click the follow button here, okay, as soon as it opens up, the link I've given already, and then click the follow button, then click the follow button again, and select favorite, so that you will see the post higher in your feed whenever you go to Facebook lah. Okay, whatever we post on daily basis, you'll be able to see. So we post a lot of things like this. Okay, very, very important information that you can basically click the link and download the papers and so on. Right, so these are the things that we share on daily basis, almost daily basis. Yeah. Okay, so from there, you can click more, go to videos. Okay, if you go to these videos, you will be able to view all the most popular class. Okay, at the moment running, people are watching on Facebook and Instagram. If you scroll down further, you can see all our tutorials, 129 videos here. So if you click this, see all, you can see all our classes lah. So the recent most hottest class is problem statement template for thesis and proposal, 4.4K views. Okay, on Facebook Live, 4.4K views is considered quite big for academic area lah, for academia again. So it's quite big. So same goes for literature review template, problem statement, background writing, introduction writing, literature review part 1, part 2, fast high impact journal publishing, and so on and so forth. So you can go and explore like concept paper writing, proposal defense. If you're going proposal defense, you don't know how to prepare yourself, there is a class just for that. How to access to all literature review databases, how to design your instrument, and so on and so on, so forth. Okay, all of this you can go and watch whenever you're free. I'll leave that to your own leisure to watch and learn lah. Okay. All right. So next one, we have a lot of free templates. Okay, a lot of free templates from literature search databases to critical literature review template, literature summary template. A lot of free templates here, which we actually explored in the past classes. Our first class this year, we explored this template and this template. This one we just touch base lah. We only just went through it in our second class. Today we will be exploring deeper. This will be viewing today. I'll be giving a word format of this today. This one I did in my Facebook live classes, so you can watch in my playlist and learn. This was part of our third class, which we focused on publication and so on and so forth. We got more. You can download all these templates from my Telegram group. If you're not in my Telegram group yet, please kindly comment in the chat box. So I'll give you the link so that you can go and join. Okay. And then we have proposal, defense, Viva questions. This one I'll focus more during next year classes. This year memang tak sempat. And then full thesis table of content, pilot study, common comments from proposal defense committee, and chapter 1 introduction template. Okay, so these are all the templates. Whoever don't have or whoever is not in my Telegram group, please let me know in the chat box so I can give you the link to go and download all these templates. Okay, will do, no problem. So if you click this particular link, okay, before you guys go and download, what are the purposes of this template? This template is to make your life easier. Though we are in the age of AI, I still don't trust AI 100%. I think my trust factor is about 60-70% only. Why? I will reveal today why I'm saying this. Okay, why I'm saying this. So what I've done is I've created this kind of templates to make life easier, so that you guys, rather than relying on AI app to do work for you, you can use these templates realistically, still put your own knowledge to develop your content, to develop your proposal, thesis, and publication. Okay, so here is the link. You all can click that particular link. I'll give you 2 minutes. Yeah, so basically you'll arrive here, click continue. So once you arrive here, make sure you click subscribe button, so that whenever new classes I announce here on Facebook or TikTok and so on, you will be notified. So make sure you click the subscribe button, enter your email, click agree, and subscribe. That's it. Nothing much, just that subscribe button there. These two are upcoming classes that you can join and learn if you want to. This coming first week of December. These are past classes recording. The most recent classes are not all of it. All of it, kalau I need to have 129 links, which I cannot. There won't be enough space. So these are only recent classes that I'll display here. All our services, and then if you go down, you can also request for thesis journal templates if you want to. This is very important. Make sure you go and follow me on TikTok. I share a lot of important videos on TikTok. I believe some of you would have seen it already. Then here, this is where you join our Telegram group. Okay, these are all the free video classes. If you click this, you can see the playlist. The entire playlist will appear here. So you can see all the playlists here, the one I shown earlier, so you can access directly from here. All our free notes and my YouTube channel. So click this Telegram group to join our Telegram community. Very, very big community. 14,652 members. At any given time, you'll have minimum 1,000 people online. So very good platform to collect data, to discuss, to share your issues. Maybe someone will be able to help. Maybe I'll be able to help whenever I'm free. So this is a very good thing for you to look into. Okay. So, okay, for today's class, you guys will need templates even after today's class. So you can click the search button here. If for mobile phone, the search button will appear if you click the name of the group. Okay, Dr. Thava's Academia. If you're on desktop, you can just click the search button here and then type out template. I'll check for you guys, UITM templates. So you can download everything from here. Okay, so I hope that will be very useful to you all. We close that and then we move on to the class today. Do you guys need more time to join the Telegram group? Please let me know. Okay, so I believe everyone had joined already. So with that, I will continue to our main agenda today. We are going to do a very quick recap of 3 classes that we have that I've shared in the past, this whole year, and some of the template processes, types of literature matrices, exploring Google Scholar for Matrix, exploring AI artificial intelligence for literature matrix. Then from literature matrix, where do we go? Okay, so if you miss the first and second and third classes also, you can find some of it in my playlist. Okay, you'll be able to find that. And maybe Dr. Khairon also will be able to share some of the recording. Okay, if there is still access lah. If no, you can always go and check our Facebook live classes. You can find the recordings there. Okay, so for today's class recap, in the first class of this year, 2023, I first shared about literature search databases. Why literature search databases? I got so many AI tools. I got Eclipse lah, I got consensus lah, con something, and then I got Site AI lah, I got Scholarly C lah, I got Litmap lah, all these tools. Why do I need to individually access one by one? We are in digital age already. So why do I still need to go through this? Because most 95% of the AI tools, I don't want to say 100% because I never tested all the tools, but I'm sure 95% of the tools don't have access. Remember this, don't have access to all the databases, literature databases, because most of the databases are paid. Example, Web of Science, paid. Scopus, paid. Science Direct, they won't give access that easily. They won't give because this Elsevier. They are all billion-dollar companies. This Scopus also Elsevier. Science Direct also Elsevier. Web of Science is Clario Analytics. They are all billion-dollar companies that they have no necessity to give access, yes, Radhi, to give access to all the AI tools. Because AI tools, we don't know who the developers are. Okay, we don't know how significant are their results. We don't know whether they are precise or not, whatever they're promising you. Okay, we don't know. So with that, we have to focus on doing certain things on our own, old school style. Okay, old school style, because you know why? When it comes to research, you have to have precise information from precise sources, qualified, high quality sources. You cannot simply open any papers that you want and just read it. Okay, you must make sure they are Web of Science Index or their Scopus Index, they have very high quality output, they are not from predatory journals, and so on and so forth. So that's why I prepared this whole template. You can download this template from my Telegram group. You can access them directly. The links are all clickable on the PDF file itself. Okay. How much of difference? This one today I'll reveal to you. Many people don't know how to actually investigate this, but today I'll reveal to you from Litmap itself, although it's a very good tool, but from Litmap itself, I will show you the shortcoming of these kind of tools where they lose almost 50% of papers when you rely on them. 50%, is 50%. So once you download the paper, you read it, you want to summarize it. Okay, you don't know how to summarize it. You can use this template, also given in Telegram group. All these are fully free. You can download, you can use it as you wish. But if you share it on Facebook or any social media, or you share it anyone else, make sure you acknowledge us, because all these are copyright already. Okay, so this one, title, authors, introduction, theory, variables, you can change this. You can find the word version of this in my Telegram group. So you can change according to your subject area. If you're not from quantitative or social science or information systems and so on, you might not be using theory, so you can remove it, or you don't need to fill up. All these are very good for you to fill up, because all this information later can translate or transpire into literature matrix. All this can become a row. Okay, different papers lah. Individual papers can become one row. Every column can become one row. Eventually will form a literature matrix. All right. Okay, this one I shared during our second class this year, critical literature review template. Now you may ask, what is the difference between this and this? Okay, this one you see, it's very surface level. This is for people who already understand what they need to do. They know how to read a paper. They know their research gap already. They know they can be very critical. Okay, they can be, yeah. So they can directly use this template. For some people, some students, or some researchers, they want more detailed breakdown on how I should read a paper. Okay, how I should read a paper, how I should break down a paper. So, critical literature review template, These are all the questions I created. I have five portions. Okay, I have five portions. Not five, six, sorry. Not four portions, six factors. Six main factors. These are all the six factors until here. Then I have 17 sub-factors related to every factor here. Individually related, you can see here. First factor got three sub-factors. Second got another three. Third got four sub-factors. Fifth got three sub-factors, and so on and so forth. So now let's go through into details of individual factors here when you read a paper. Okay, let me tell you something. If you go through this, if you read a paper, it's going to take more time, but it will be worth it. Why worth it? End of the day, you will be able to be very, very critical. Okay, you'll be able to be very, very critical, and you won't be hearing from your supervisor all the time that you are not being critical. I can understand the pain of the supervisor because some of us unseemingly or unintentionally, we do literature review, we just summarize. Okay, we just read and we summarize. We are not being critical. Okay, so when you're not critical, you cannot get the actual problem of a paper when you read it. That's why supervisors keep saying, go read back, not critical, go read back, not critical, and so on. So how to overcome that problem? This is the way. This is how you can read every paper, answer these questions, and you'll be able to be very, very critical. Okay? All right. So when I go through, I'm going to use this example, this paper. For this entire class today, I'll be using this paper as an example. This paper is by Elsevier, International Journal of Information Management, Impact Factor 21. Okay, for all the new students who don't know what is impact factor is how you measure the quality of a Web of Science paper. If you say 20, if anything more than 2 or 3, actually Web of Science index itself is already, Web of Science indexing itself makes the paper great already. Honestly, yeah, it's very good. On top of that, if you see impact factor more than 2, it's already brilliant. Okay, that means it's already Q2, Q3 ready. If you see impact factor more than 5, 6, it's amazing. More than 10, it's ultra. More than 20, it's godlike ready. Okay, that means this journal is very, very, very high quality. Very old journal, that means very traditional. They have very good track record. People publish in this journal. They also have very good papers. That's why they get very high citation. Citation is a weightage of impact factor. They are somewhat proportional because impact factor is calculated via 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years, and 5 years citations of a particular journal of a particular paper in a particular journal. Okay, every paper published in a journal will be calculated for the impact factor. So when you get 21, that means it's marvelous. Okay, it's marvelous. All right, so that's how you quantify or you look at the kind of papers that you read. You don't simply read every other papers in the world. You read papers that are very high in quality. The problem with AI tool is they cannot access this kind of papers because Elsevier or Science Direct won't give you the access. But at times you'll be able to access certain Elsevier paper because AI will go and pick up papers from ResearchGate. They'll go pick up from websites, free websites. Sometimes they're connected to certain profiles. Then they'll just download from there. But eventually you cannot and will never be able to download 100% from this kind of high quality papers. You will be missing out very largely. All right? No problem, guys. So this paper focuses on information system capabilities, which are things like Grammarly software, Turnitin software, those kind of performance enhancing software. When you work in a firm or you study in a university, information system is very important nowadays. All right? And then firm performance. How does this software improves a firm's performance or a university's performance? Then opening the black box through decision-making performance and business process performance. These are the main contributors of this paper. DMP, BPP. Remember these acronyms. DMP, BPP. Decision-making performance, business process performance. Wasim, I also have same issue when I enter the code after subscribing. Then after that, it does not let me enter. I try on MacBook and mobile as well. Which particular platform you're talking about, Wasim? Can you please give more details? Okay. So our first factor, start by understanding the paper that you are reading. This is the fundamentally most pressing and important issue. Let me ask all of you. Okay, usually UITM, my classes will be very fun. Huh? Let me ask all of you. How many of you here, when you read a paper, you don't understand, then you slowly just push the paper aside. You carry the carpet, you push the paper under the carpet. You don't continue reading. Okay, just leave it aside. Some of you will leave it for reading later. Some of you will just ignore the paper, push it aside, pretend the paper never even exists. Okay, how many of you experience that, or sometimes that you guys do that? You can be honest, huh? Don't worry. You're supposed to not watching. Pretty much, I would say most lah. Loads of us will do that. Okay. The problem with that is the moment you don't understand something, keep moment. I suffer with sakit badan after full reading a paper. That one I cannot do anything lah. That one I can't help much lah. Then you need to find alternative solutions. uh, so let me tell you something. If you read a paper, when you understand it very quickly, remember this, very true statement. When you read a paper, when you understand it very quickly, that means you're not learning. You're not learning. Somewhere at the back of your head, you already understand the paper. You already know the information that is within those papers. You already read it somewhere. It's already something that you quite easily understand. So what we do, we keep reading papers that we understand. We understand. So what happens? You are always in the zone only. You're always here, reading papers that is within your knowledge only. So what happens? Why you do PhD? PhD is about breaking boundaries. It's about breaking boundaries. It's about exploring new things, getting new ideas. Some of you don't get new ideas or new research gap because you don't break these boundaries. You just stay within this zone only. Comfort zone. All of us love it. I also love it. I don't want to suffer. Who wants to suffer again? Sakit badan and so on. I don't want. But PhD requires you to break down the wall. You need to go out. You need to go out. You need to go out. Within the similar topic, you need to don't go out to topics that you don't understand. Don't from business management, you go to physics. That one is pointless lah. But within the same topic area, you need to go out of your boundaries to find new ideas. Okay? You need to go into these zones. That's where you push under the carpet because you don't understand. These things are not something that you read or you're very familiar with. That's why it's very important to understand the paper. If you read something that you understand very quickly, even if you read 10 papers a week, very hard for you to find new ideas. Remember this, Remember this, Listen to this very carefully. If you read a paper, you understand it very quickly. Even if you read 10 papers a day, you might not be able to find new ideas, right? However, if you read only one paper that you don't understand per week, that means you spend 5 days reading this one paper. From this paper you don't understand, you go and read other books, materials. That's where you start learning. That's where you're zoning out. You will be able to find new thought process, new ideas, okay, new systems, new theories, new variables, new study focus that you have never even thought about. That's why, first thing I always emphasize, understand the paper that you're reading. Don't ignore if you don't understand. Don't keep it for later. Don't keep it for later. What is the point of you reading things that you understand very quickly and then things you don't understand, you keep it aside, keep it aside. You'll accumulate, You'll accumulate. Okay, so first thing, you must first understand what are the focus area of the paper. Okay, what are the focus areas of the paper? Then only you'll be able to understand further what the paper is trying to do. Second, is the source relevant and reliable? Okay, so this one, in this case, this paper for number one, the focus area of the paper is firm performance in the perspectives of information system capabilities, which introduces DMP and BPP. I just summarize in one line, in 2 lines, finish. I know already what the paper is talking about. That means I understand the paper. Okay, number 2, is the source relevant and reliable? If your study is related to firm performance, in this case, this paper, enterprise resource management, information systems, DMP, BPP, then yes. So next thing you must find out after you understand whether it's relevant to you or not, or can you make relevancy or not. If you cannot, don't waste time reading. You only have 3 years PhD, 1 year to 2 years for masters, 1 to 2 years for masters. You don't have you don't have many years to go. So make sure you read complex papers, but within the scope of your research. No need to go and read something that is not related at all. Don't keep jumping topics. Don't keep jumping topics. This one a bit today, after 1 month, this one, after 2 weeks, this one, after 3 weeks, this one, you will never go anywhere. I know some of you are suffering from that. Still not happy with the topic. Go read some more. Go read some more. Jump topics, jump topic, jump topic. Don't. You will waste a lot of time. Right? Then next thing, how is it reliable? So even if you download papers from AI and so on, make sure you go and check out what is the indexing, how is the quality of the paper. So this is Web of Science Q1. Last time used to be 18.958, but now already 21 impact factor. Absolutely reliable. Absolutely. It's very, very high impact. Okay. Factor number 2, familiarity with the subject area of the paper. Understanding done now. Now is familiarity. How to be familiar? Number 4. This one, that means after understanding, now you drill down. Next step, you become familiar. You look at what are the recent developments. So for number 4, go and search the paper in Google Scholar, this particular paper, search in Google Scholar, do a snowball. Excuse me. Do a snowballing to understand if the paper is still trending, still a hot topic, that can enable a gap. Okay? How to do snowballing? I will explain later. Number 5, what are the appropriate methods of the paper? This paper uses quantitative methods suitable for your research. You should ask yourself this question. Okay, number 6, methods uses survey setting. 236 respondents meets quantitative sampling sizing requirement. Okay, what I'm saying here is number 6 is, are the methods acceptable? Very important methodology. You should be able to analyze if the methods are acceptable or not. From this, number 6, you answer. In this paper, they use survey setting, 236 respondents. So my question is, does it meet the quantitative sampling sizing or not? And was the questionnaire used solid or not? This is the first step you can know whether the research is strong or not, right? Next thing, you go to the important segment, critical analysis. Now you already understand, you're familiar already. Now is the time to drill down. Okay, before I get into this, do you all know literature review? There are 3 types. Not all the papers you need to be critical. Remember this very carefully. Not all the papers you need to be critical. Literature review is broken down into 3 important segments. One is acknowledgement. Okay. One more is support. And this one is critical. 3. 3 kinds of literature. That means whenever we look at a paper, there are 3 kinds of papers. What is that? Acknowledgement is something that you say and then other papers don't mention about it. It's just mentioning. So not all papers you need to be critical. Some papers just acknowledgement. Okay, so you say that there is a certain problem, then other papers also acknowledge that there is a certain problem. Or acknowledgement in terms of statistics. Then you have support. You find something, your findings is very good, or your findings is coming out certain result, you use literature to support your results. Okay, support. Then the third category is critical. Okay, critical being, if there's something wrong, you say it out loud. You read a paper, the paper is very weak, you talk about the weakness. The paper did something but never cover the important aspects of things, you say it out. That is where you're being critical. So there are 3 types. So if you read a paper, you don't find anything critical about it, nothing problem with the paper, not because you're not good, not because you don't know how to read a paper. It's because the paper probably is never meant to be used as critical literature. It's only for acknowledgement and support. So you must know the kind of papers that you read, which you can only learn as you experience more. You read more, you write more, you will get into this zoning. Okay, make sure you know how to zone out the papers very clearly. Okay. All right. So okay, let me just write that down also. Okay. Najib, is it critical is similar to limitation? Yes. Yes. Being critical, you can also pick up the limitations of a paper as well. You can. Okay. All right. So under the critical analysis part, there are 4 factors because this is very important portion. So number 7, what are the strengths of the paper? So before you criticize someone, it is strategically important for you to understand whether the strengths of the paper is strong enough or not. You must always know your opponent, whether they're strong enough or not. How strong they are. You must acknowledge that. So very unique study from this paper. The strengths are very unique study that address a conflicting finding of the usage of information system. Implementation of a complex study with serial mediation and proof that IS infrastructure is irrelevant. So this is the strength of this paper. What evidence have you found to support the strength? The results of the paper itself are most results. So you can elaborate further if you want to. Number 9. Now, what are the weaknesses of the paper? Now, strength done. Now we go to weakness. The findings are limited to only Turkey. So it cannot be applied in other parts of the world. Cannot for this from this paper. Several other moderators such as firm culture, financial implication, and so on can be implemented. Enterprise resource planning can be explored with the said mediators. This one is my contribution for this paper. Okay, then number 10, any controversies. Very important if you can find any controversies. We all love controversies. Okay, so it's good to have that controversial element in your thesis as well, if you can find lah. So only a single respondents for organization provided data, which is a huge weakness tending towards biasness. That is the controversy of this particular literature. Okay. Next one. Apply your thought processes now. Now you already understand. You have already familiarized with the paper, and you have already been critical about the paper. Now it's about time to apply your thought processes. How to solve this issue. So number 11, based on the evidence gathered, what do you think of the paper? So my answer for this paper, a new set of studies can be implemented related to firm culture, financial implication, and enterprise resource planning with better respondents. Number 12, how does your study research or your own study and research or questions objectives link to this paper? So this part you need to design a linkage and ensure there is a connection. Remember, in my case study here, I'm explaining to you, this is my seed paper. This is my most powerful paper I want to look at, and I'll be developing my ideas starting from this paper. So you must have a starting point. A seed paper, a very high impact paper, being a seed paper would be good. What I mean by seed? Okay. This is land. Whenever you want a plant to grow, your first thing that they put in is seed. Then you get a nice big tree, which is your PhD or master's. So this seed is very important to identify. Okay, very, very important. You can have one, you can have multiple seed papers. You can have 10, 15 also if you want to. No problem. It's totally up to you or up to your study area. So from here, I propose to implement firm culture, financial implication, enterprise resource planning with better respondents. This is my opinion. Number 12, this is how it's linked. I already tell you, seed paper, you need to link it up. Number 13, why the weaknesses or controversies need addressing? Why you need to address? What happens if you don't address? This is part of the significance of study in chapter 1 usually. Where in this example, many territories are left unexplored. It is the next stage of development. Enterprise resource planning is the way to go in this segment. Add references to support. Okay. All right. So number 14, how do you intend to do it? Okay. So this is number 14. How would you propose to do it? What research method are you going to use? So my answer, can you develop a better research method in your case? But in this case, probably I want to add qualitative observation as an additional method to carry observation of the work performance. So based on all 14 items, okay, up to here is 14, you can design 15, 16, 17. This is the close-up of a paper. Let's structure a literature review. Number 15. What is the focus theme of your study? Now talk about your study. I want to focus on enterprise resource planning related study. Okay, number 16, how are you solving the problem of the paper? I'm introducing quantitative and qualitative observation. Number 17, what will be the scope of the thesis? To introduce a new sets of findings, policies on the implementation of ERP. Okay, so that is what I intend to do. This is my 17 steps or 17 sub-focus area that you can explore when you read the paper. Remember, this is only for beginners. Okay, beginners or newcomers, when you want to really go into it, you want to practice yourself how to read a paper. Once you already get the gist of it, you get a grab of it, you know how to do it, then you don't need to be, no need to use this template. You can just quickly do it yourself. All right. This is just forming a guideline for you. All right. Is that clear? Any questions? Okay, all clear, eh? So you guys can attempt to use the template later. See how you can manage with the template. All right. So from there, you can start forming literature matrix already. This literature matrix has theoretical aspect as well. I designed this template. Now, in this class today, to give the awakening to all of you, how many of you wants the word version of this template so that you can edit the columns yourself? All right, how many of you want? I want more energy, more spirit. Wake up, everyone, so that you can focus. Okay, because this particular matrix has independent variable, other variable, theoretical framework, dependent variable. If you're not from quantitative, you might not be able to use this. So I give you the word version, you can edit it yourself, right? So, right, I can see a lot of energy today morning, Monday morning, although we are coming towards year end already, because PhD, that's the pain part of PhD, like year end ke, tak year end ke, holiday or no holiday, doesn't matter. PhD is still PhD unless you finish it, right? So I will give you the word version of this. I'll email to you all. So make sure you fill up the attendance form at the end of the class, not now. Don't ask for the form now. They will give it to you at the end of the class. So stay until the end. If you leave halfway, you won't get the notes because I won't share it in the group. I will only send it to people who attended the class. Okay, until the end. So stay with me. The people who watch the recording won't get the notes. Remember that. Okay, so this, I'll give you the word version so you can edit it. Now, the big question that all of you should ask, Doctor, how if I'm not from quantitative area? What are you going to do? I cannot use this matrix. So what other matrix should I use? How my matrix should change? How if my background is not social science? Or how about if I'm using quali method? Let's see some other examples. Okay. So we go into types of literature matrices. Okay. This is literature matrix in medical area. Okay, medical area. So you got authors, source, domain, research design, participants, key findings. This is a very good example from medical area. If you stay until the end, I will show you a very, very powerful literature matrix, which is from one of my clients, Dr. Sharifah. Dr. Tubi Sharifah, who finished her Viva last August in University Malaya, with zero corrections. No correction, her PhD. We coached her since 2019, including her 4 papers that were published and her thesis proposal all the way until this year, 2023. She managed to finish her Viva with zero correction. So I will share with you her literature matrix, how it looks like. So you can see how very, very high achiever do their literature matrix. So you'll be able to get the gist of it. Okay. So this is for medical area. Just if you have anyone from health sciences, you can have a look at this. If you are from computing and engineering areas, this is talking about IoT technologies and all its related assets. They talk about all the technologies, all the related assets and so on. So they can carve up what they're looking into. This is the form of literature matrix as well. Then you have a very, very comprehensive. It's called very comprehensive. Very, very tough to do this kind of literature matrix because it's very time consuming. Trust me, very time consuming. So this is coming from a Q1 journal also, literature review matrix of social sciences. You can say talk about paper, fact dependent variable, independent, other variables, theoretical method, data, region, and so on. Now, for those who are from qualitative area, who is from qualitative area here? Qualitative and mixed method. How many of you are practicing qualitative and mixed method? Okay, quite a lot also. So this is a very good example for quali and mixed method because mixed method usually you cannot do this kind of matrix unless you do sequential design where your quantity comes first. Then maybe you can do this kind of matrix. But if you're doing parallel design, if you're doing parallel design or sequential design where the quali comes first, okay, then you have to go with something like this. So different studies have different angle to look at, right? So this is very simple. Literature review matrix, authors, the topic of individual paper, because quali we go based on topic so that we can create themes and so on, right? The frequency of a word being appearing and so on and so forth. The methodology, the findings, and the implications. That's it for quali. That's enough already. Okay. Okay, now coming to my most important diagram, since we have a lot of new joiners, how many of you here never seen this diagram before? This diagram. Never seen before, eh? Okay. So we still have people who never seen this diagram before. So for that, I need to explain. I always ask this so that I can skip this particular slide. I've been explaining this since 2020 until now, but it's okay. Education always have new students. So this is my 12 steps consulting framework for PhD, master's, thesis, and publications. Okay. So this one is applicable for both masters and PhD. So don't get don't mistaken this is only for PhD by looking at this. I'm changing the labeling soon. Just they don't have time to redesign. Okay. So master's PhD proposal, master's PhD thesis. This is the midline. Okay. Where all the proposal steps are here. These are all the thesis steps. It might differ a bit here and there, but largely it's almost like this. Almost. So step number one, always start with a 10 pages proposal. If you have new students here who are going into their PhD, don't jump onto chapter 1 to 3 immediately. Don't. Excuse me. Write a first 10 pages proposal first, which includes introduction, background, problem statement. All this part I've already taught in my Facebook live class how to write. Introduction, background, problem statement, RORQ, significance, literature review, theory, or fundamentals. If you don't have theory, mathematical theory, can be any kind of theory, the basics, like the background, or the baseline. And then your solution can be in the form of conceptual framework, system, and whatnot, and methodology, about 9 to 10 sections. Write it down so that your supervisor will be able to see what you're thinking about. Where is your idea going towards? Whether they want to be in the same boat as you or not. You need to know that. You need to know that from the beginning. Because you don't want to write chapter 1 to 3 and the supervisor say, no, scrap the whole thing. Not something that I want. You don't ever want to do that. I still see students till today, till this day, scrapping their full proposal, restart everything. That means almost 1 year of their work go down the drain. So better establish very clear ideation with the supervisor, then go into chapters 1 to 3, about 50 to 80 pages. This is how normally we'll coach. We'll coach step 1, finish step 1, then we'll coach step number 2. That's how we go step by step. Okay, then we go into step number 3, proofreading and formatting. Okay, very, very, very important when we talk about proofreading. Why? Because when you go for proposal defense here, you can use Grammarly. Yes, you definitely can. But the only problem with Grammarly is that it is not sufficient. Okay, it is not sufficient to give the optimum language outcome that you want. Okay, the flow of story, the connectivity of writing, because Grammarly only checks grammar. But grammar alone would not be enough when it comes to writing, especially academic writing. Academic writing must be like storytelling. And that storytelling requires very good structuring, editing, and proofreading. That's where this one steps in, which will eventually help your examiners here to understand your document very clearly. Remember, in your proposal defense, the committee reads your chapters first before they examine you. So if your chapters are not clear, you're going to have a very hard time here. You're going to, right? So our proofreading always come with lifetime language warranty and also certificate, free, both also. Okay, then step number 4. We usually will coach students, prepare them before they go for proposal defense. We teach them how to do slides, we will do mock defense to make sure they are prepared, they are strong enough to go for the defense. After your defense, whether you get minor or major largely depends on uh, three factors. First, how you explain during your defense. Okay, how you explain during your defense, how well knowledgeable you are. Second, how well your proposal is written so that they don't need to ask you to redo a lot of things. And third, well, depends on the subject area and novelty itself. Okay, if the novelty is not there, or like, maybe use AI tool to download the papers and you miss out another 50% of the papers, which maybe some of them already did what you're doing, you missed out largely, that is doomsday. That is the end of your proposal defense. You have to go and restart back. That's the biggest danger that people don't know. People not realizing. Okay? All right. While doing all this, my concept is always start writing your journal paper very early. Okay. Just last week itself, we had three acceptances, all systematic review, so that their papers already secured before even they go for their data collection and so on. I think that paper, right after their proposal, they start writing, we coach all the way, got accepted after about 9 months. One was 7, one was 9, one was almost 1 year. All proper scopus journals, proper scopus journals, no shortcut whatsoever. That's why it took so long. All right. So why I suggest to write your papers here itself, because you can write and publish submit your paper concurrently while you do all of this. So by the time you get to the end point, your papers are already published, ready. Your publication requirement fulfilled already. Okay. So here, minor or major, we normally will coach you. We can coach you, we'll tell you how to address all the comments. Then you go to data collection. When it comes to data, we normally coach on SPSS, AMOS, Stata, Smart PLS for sure, eViews, MATLAB, chemical analysis software, XRD, and so on, Python, and so on and so forth. Okay, so that is the data collection part. Then finish your analysis, complete chapters 4 and 5, combine your 1 to 3, chapter 4 and 5 to produce update references, expand your chapter 1 to 5 and align and integrate all of them together. This itself is a very, very complex step. Then only you should extract more journals. See, the problem is if you don't write these journals here, if you don't write it, you only write it here, this will take at least 7 to 1 year, maybe even more than 1 year to publish. But you're already heading towards Viva. In 1 or 2 months' time, you're already in Viva. And you cannot graduate unless you publish. So this one, you have to wait until the will publish. It will reject. You have to resubmit, reject, resubmit. That's why you plan early. You start early to fulfill the requirements. Okay? Then make sure you proofread. Even last year, I got a question from a student. Should I proofread before I send the thesis to my examiner or before? My Viva, the student asked me. My question is very simple. When you give a sample of your work to someone who wants to buy it from you, to buy your idea, do you give the best work or do you give your moderate work? Of course, you want to give the best work, right? So therefore, language is very important because the external examiner don't know you. They come from different universities. Their role is not to pass you. Their role is to make sure that you. I won't say they want to fail you. That is wrong to say. Okay, they are not there to fail you, but they are there to make sure that you're worthy of your PhD. So they're going to read and make sure that they can understand from your write-up. That's where proofreading, editing, and structuring plays a major role here. Okay, then comes to Viva part, mock Viva, same like defense. We will teach how to build slides and we will train before Viva. And this is where the Viva takes place. And after Viva, you will get all the corrections. Now, corrections comes under 5 different categories. One, no correction, which I'll share with you later, whether it's possible or not, you can see for yourself. Minor correction, which is what you want. Major correction also not bad because you get extra time. It's still not bad. Now, 2 other things is what you don't want to get. You don't want to get major correction with reviva or fail. You don't want these 2. Major correction, reviva, you really don't want because you don't want to go and defend again, right? So those are the 12 steps explaining the entire processes. How do we normally assist students? We nowadays only focus mostly on modes 3 and 4, which covers accelerated thesis consultancy, proposal consultancy, and publication consultancy, where we will build a coaching plan, a very detailed coaching plan. section by section, whether it's a review paper, whether it's an empirical paper, whether it's a proposal for PhD or master's, whether it's a thesis. We will build section by section comprehensive coaching guide, and we will coach you. One of my consultants will coach you step by step. And then mode 4, content editing for special cases only. Okay, so these are the steps that you can complete or you need to go through to complete your PhD or master's. All right. Now going to Google Scholar for Matrix. Okay, before we get into this, let's take a very quick break. We take 5 minutes break, we come back, we crunch these through very quickly, and then we also explore AI too. So let's take 5 minutes break. If you have any questions, you can type it up during the 5 minutes break. Okay, what you can do in this break? You can try to join Telegram group. If you have issue, you can let me know. You can join the WhatsApp group. Okay, this is the WhatsApp group for UITM. Okay. Telegram group I already shared earlier, but I can share again if you want to. If you haven't joined, this is the link to Telegram group. You can join. If you have any questions in these 5 minutes, you can type it up. I'll come back and answer. Okay. All right. Let's take a quick break. Okay. Welcome back. So we got a few queries here. Zuraida, I've got the code to subscribe. It keeps on loading only. Which particular code? Which one? Okay. So Rati. If step one already has a suggestion, you approve topic of SU and co-SU, do I have to start step one again? Better start step one again, better, so that you establish the idea. Or if it depends on the feedback actually. If the feedback, they kind of convince on the topic already, you can go straight to chapter one already, step two. But if the topic is still not firm enough, then you better start step one again. Okay, so for everyone else who inquire on our 12 steps framework, including Noni, here is the WhatsApp link. You can WhatsApp me first. Zuraida, 6-digit code sent to email. I don't think anything will send any code, so I'm not sure which one you're talking about. Now, Zuraida, you PM me. Later we will discuss. Okay. All right. So coming to Google Scholar now. Okay, let's open up Google Scholar. Okay, so we're going to explore this paper. We're going to explore this paper today. International Journal of Information Management, same topic. Okay, and we're going to focus on this literature matrix. Why am I doing this? Because I want to show you the effectiveness of individual platform that will take you efficiently and very quickly to your end game, your literature matrix. Okay, that's what we want to explore, right? Okay, so this is the table. The study is going from 2000 to 2018. Okay, so 18 years, 18 years of studies, not 18, 19 years of studies. Okay, 19 years of studies. So this is the literature matrix. Now we go back to the topic. This is the title of the paper. This is my seed paper. This is my seed paper. So okay. So I enter here. I search for the paper. This is the seed paper. Now from this seed paper, okay, from this search result, we have several options down here. Okay, how many of you here never ever clicked the cited by and also related articles feature at all on Google Scholar before? You never click it before. Please let me know. Okay. These are the two buttons that will enable your literature review to move on very quickly. Very, very quickly. So for literature matrix, you can click this particular button, related articles. Click this, and then you will get a lot of related papers, cross-reference papers, the papers that cited your seed paper or the references within the seed paper. Everything will appear here. Everything that are extremely related. So you have in total up to 5 tabs. You can see here. But does it really show everything exactly related? That is what we want to find out. We don't simply blindly use a feature. We must make sure that it is credible enough, right? So from my analysis, the yellow color is Google Scholar. So out of 14 papers, total here got 14, 14 papers, only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 14, yeah, correct. 14 total. Only 6 were shown on Google Scholar. That is a problem. Okay. Why? Because Google Scholar is a free tool, obviously. They are not that precise. Okay, the cross-reference link and the intelligent linking of other papers together is not very well done on Google Scholar. Okay, so this one we need to understand first. So this is first time I'm revealing to UITM. Other universities I already shared this lah. But UITM first time I'm showing all the related papers, less than 50% Google Scholar can highlight. Less than 50%. Okay. But having said that, Google Scholar is the largest database in the world, comprising of more than 170 million papers across all indexing. Okay, all indexing. Though the related articles feature did not fare very well, okay, did not give the ultimate result that we want, but the content of data, the Google Scholar itself is the largest. They have all the journals that you can think of. Why? Why Google alone has it? Because first it's Google. No one will say no to Google. That can be Elsevier, that can be Clarivate Analytics, Web of Science, that can be any journal, Taylor Francis, all. They cannot say no to Google. Okay, because end of the day, they have to appear on Google as well. There's a lot of power play and monopoly here. Okay, first reason. Second reason, Google is free. Google Scholar is free. So it doesn't affect the business of Science Direct, Elsevier, Scopus, Web of Science in any way. So they get direct access to all of it. But you still cannot read, you still need access from the individual journals or journal companies to read it. All right, that's why you use UITM access to read. Okay, so we know that very clearly. Now, how to overcome this problem? We know the problem now, but how to overcome this problem? There are two ways. We call it snowballing. Two methods to snowball. One is backward, one is forward. Backward means from the seed article that you want, you go, it takes a bit more work, a bit more manual labor. Go down, you go through the references, you go back in time. That's why we call it backward snowballing, because you go back in time. So you check out all the papers that might be relevant to you or your study, and you handpick it out that you want to cross-analyze. That is called research, right? So you want to do a bit more extra work to make sure that your research is concrete. First thing. Second thing, you can do forward snowballing. That means you look at the papers that are from the time that your paper was published or the seed article was published. After that, which papers have cited this seed article? That means you're going to the future. You're looking at forward snowballing. So here you can see cited by 208. Remember this number very carefully. This number 208. 208 articles out there in the world have cited this paper, which might be relevant to your study. So you can do your own forward snowballing search to extract the journals that might be relevant to you. You need to read individually. The abstract itself will tell you whether it's relevant or not. So very quickly, you need to go through that 208 articles. Pop, abstract, read, take the one that is related to you. Okay? Again, you might think that, this guy is telling very fast. It's not that easy. Actually, it's that easy. As long as you know your study, what you want to focus on, not exactly the problem, but the study area you want to focus on, you can pull out the papers from the abstract itself. The abstract itself more or less will tell you. Okay? So that is the two approaches when it comes to Google Scholar. Okay, I already taught you how to do that. Now let's try an AI tool. Remember, again, I have to emphasize, cited by 208 articles. Now we go to Litmap. Okay, this is Litmaps. It's something like connected papers, but I would say more powerful. The background engine of Litmap is Semantic Scholar. That's another database engine, something similar to Google Scholar, but has way less access compared to Google Scholar. Okay, Semantic Scholar, but it's way more intelligent, but with way little access. Okay, that means how you know? You have a human being who is very intelligent, but with very little knowledge. What are they used for? Nothing, because no knowledge. But intelligent, there's nothing much you can do without the core knowledge. Versus people who is not that intelligent but have all the knowledge, just need a bit more time to get to the right, exact, precise point. So these are the two different individuals here. Same goes here. Google Scholar is slightly less intelligent, but fully, massively resourceful. Okay. But the only problem is the intelligent person will be able to learn the things that he or she doesn't know. But in this case, like Semantic Scholar or Litmap, when they don't have access, they don't have access. Full stop. Okay, the companies are not going to give access, so therefore they're not going to be able to suddenly magically give you all the information because they don't have access. Full stop. All right. So now we go, but this is a very good tool though. Okay. So from here we have three different options under Litmap. We got seed maps, we got discover, and we got map. Three different things. Seed map is basically the same as what I explained earlier, forward and backward snowballing. That means everything only within the paper, not out of the paper. But discover will go one step beyond the citations only or the references only. It will go to the references of the references, the citations of the citations. Okay, so example, to not confuse you. This is the seed article. Okay, this is the essay, seed article. This is forward snowballing. We got several papers lah here. Then this is the backward snowballing. Then we got several papers here. So seed map, or just now the method I shown you on Google, it will only cover this seed map. The first option will only cover this. But discover here is what Google Scholar don't have. Okay, or not really effective, even if they have. Discover will go beyond this, will go to this plus more papers. Every individual will be further expanded. Same goes here. Will be further expanded, expand into different clouds, different cloud of informations, different cloud of databases and papers. So that's why you get more. All right, you get more precise information. Okay, so now that is discover, and then map will basically show what you normally see in VS Viewer or any other viewer that shows the literature map. Okay, that shows the literature map. Now, shall we explore the software? So, Litmap. I have premium access. Okay, I have premium access. So, this is how premium looks like. So, I don't want to go into seed because seed I already shown you how to do. Let's go into discover. Okay, discover, I go to new search. This one, the fee and so how much they charge and so on, I'll share later. So, this is the paper I want to look at. I search for articles. I click, I add one input. Okay, from this input, I want to show one important thing. Okay, details. This is the paper, same year, same journal. Okay, now if I see here, references 108. So that's fine. 108 references. That means references within this paper, within these references. Now, what I want to understand is cited by. That means all other journals out there from various databases that have cited your seed paper. That means 2019 until 2023. How many papers have cited your paper? Just now, Google Scholar shown how many papers? Please tell me in the chat box. How many did Google Scholar highlighted? 208. Anyone else? Okay. So it was 208. Very good. You guys are very well focusing into the class. Very good. Thank you. Now, this particular software, AI tool, showing 115 papers only. Why? Why is it so? Why only 115 papers? Anyone can give me any idea? Okay, index journal, more critical citing, right? This is something from the beginning I've been telling you, has no access, okay? Anyone else can give me idea? Why? Okay. So the reason is no access. Okay, remember I told you at the beginning of the class, the problem with AI tool is it doesn't have access to all the databases. You won't have access to Web of Science, no access to Scopus, no access to Science Direct, maybe no access to Taylor and Francis, maybe no access to Wiley, all these top journals in the world. So therefore, almost 50% of related articles is not shown by this tool. It's not shown. Is that a risk or not? For anyone here using AI tool to read paper, to do research, to get idea, or to analyze for you and so on, do you think it's risky or not? 50% of the papers you cannot access with this one experiment itself. Actually, it is absolutely and extremely and scarily and amazingly risky. Okay, amazingly risky. Whether no matter which subject area you come from, okay, which area you come from, you can come from engineering, physics, medical sciences, health sciences, business, finance, whatever you name it, information systems, geography, things that people don't even, interior design, arts, whatever everything relies on one thing only before you find your solution: literature review. If you use a tool like this problem, when you cannot access 50% of the papers out there, your literature review is cut by 50%, but you're 100% relying on it. You don't have any other external sources. You're not using Google Scholar, not using anything else, Web of Science, Scopus, all you're not using. You're only using the AI tool. 50% of the studies out there, you are not exploring. Because why? You don't even know they exist. Because your worldview, your focal lens is only through the lens of the software. You're not putting your lens anywhere else. So you only get the resources from there and you write based on that. Then you go for proposal defense, you go for Viva. The examiner comes up, they say, hey, why you never read all these papers? When I search, I can see all these papers not cited in your defense. What are you going to say? And worst of all, if those references, because you're not looking at top impact papers, you're not looking at, most importantly, Elsevier and so on. So these are the most high top-notch papers, which probably already solve the problems you're looking at. Okay? What are you going to answer if they are showing you 2 to 3 papers have done something very similar that you're doing? You cannot say anything. You just have to look at their face only. Your eyes all become big. Okay? Happened already. Several cases I've seen. Okay, that's why I go deep dive into finding out why this problem actually come up. Why it came up, this kind of issues. Forget ChatGPT. In the last class, I already completely annihilated ChatGPT. Forget it. Okay, it is intelligent and whatnot, but it's really not applicable, not very good for academic context. Full stop. Okay, there's no access to any journals. The will just give you resources from books, all the ideas from the books, which is very, very old already. And most of the content is fake. Okay, most of the contents are fake. It can be founded by Microsoft or whoever, OpenAI, whatever. Okay. First, Turnitin can pick up all the content from ChatGPT. Second, most of the content are fake, even if pick up also using fake content already. Okay, when the flag gives citation is not even true. All right, so that forget it. Okay. When you go to actual AI tool made for academia, now they don't have access. That is the core problem. Because academia is not like every other fields out there, where you can just use AI tool without any repercussions, without any impact. But in academia, you cannot, because everything is measured via your citations and available literature out there. Other people have done it or not. Other people already tell the wheel is round, but you never read the paper about the wheel is round, and then you go and design again the wheel is round. So then the examiner tells you, hey, these people already reported 20 years ago, the wheel is round. Now why are you reporting again? That is where the problem comes. Okay, so be very, very careful of the software you intend to use. Anyone sells you will never tell you this. Okay, I am not selling any software for this reason alone. But when I find a good software that doesn't impact the research precision in terms of ethics and so on, then I share. That's why so far I only shared Litmaps because it's quite effective. Just that it doesn't have access to all the journals out there. So you must evaluate and understand. My advice always, you want to use, but always have a backup plan. Always go and search on Google Scholar, Web of Science, Scopus. Take papers from there also when you're doing your research. Okay. Now, so that is the first issue I raised already. Now let's go into this and done. So now we go into algorithm. We got 3 different algorithms. We take top connected. Right? We don't need to bother about the rest for now. We go filters. I want to go through 18 years only. Remember I told earlier 18 years, 2000 to 2018 to see how precise is this tool. How intelligent is this tool. So we go custom. We go to January 2000. This is a bit buggy. It will keep changing. So I'll show you why it's buggy. How it is buggy. So December 2018. So I search again. See, you have to click few times. Custom again. To customize 01 2020 to 12 2000. Sorry, 2020 pula. 2000 to 2018. Okay, let's see. 01 2000. See, you have to click again. At least 3 to 4 times you have to click. Baru the flow will work. Okay, now let's see. Okay, now correct. So these are all the resources that came out from the searching. Okay, this is Discover. So Discover, they are mapping everything all together. So it goes up to 100 papers that they can find, that this app can find. You can see all the connection up to 100 papers. Now, if I go back to this matrix, when I evaluate this software, so we show the good and the bad also, to be fair, to the software founder lah. So we go back here, we look at this. From 14, the green color all can be found in Litmap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 can be found. Only one paper both platform couldn't find. Both platforms, Stoll and Mohana. So that means the precision of Litmap is about 92%. Yeah, 90. I calculated it's about 92%. So I have given you a free option where you can do literature matrix very quickly, and you need to do two more steps to manual labor so that you get high precise literature matrix. That is one option, but for sure it is 100% concrete. Then you got Litmap, which is very efficient. The flow makes your life easier. You have to pay, and the precision is about 92%. But has very little access to databases. It can find out the papers now, but when you do a basic search, it might not be able to show you all the related papers. Okay, though the algorithm works quite well. Okay, so that is the result of today's comparative analysis that I've done. Okay, from here, what you can do, you can further expand the search. So you can select. Like let's say this 5. You want to, or 6 or 7, you want to add into your seed articles. That means part of your seed finding lah. Okay, so you expand the search further. So now the flow will find this, the flow will find all the related here, everything related here, the flow will find. So these are all the related papers that comes out with all the mapping you can see. So you go second layer now. Just now first layer, now you go second layer. Then you can go to third layer, fourth layer, and so on and so forth. All right. So this is the result of the search. Now, from there, you can design your map. Okay, sorry, forgot. One more thing. Let me just show that. Okay, from here, you can finish all the search. You can select more, sorry. You can select. Okay, the ones that you think very much related to you. Okay, sorry. Select. And then you can finish. Once you finish, in total, you have 21 articles. From this, you can export directly as a RIS file. RIS file is my preferred lah, because the file can go straight into your Mendeley, EndNote, and so on. And the file can sit in it. From there, you can start your research already. Okay? But you cannot get access to it. You still have to purchase the access. You go straight to DOI. Access, you still need credible access. You cannot access it Can you? Cannot. You still need to access through your institution. Access-wise is still the same. You have to have subscription. Nah. So now we go to map. Okay, so we look at this one. Okay. So once you add and add and add everything, you can have something like this. Okay, this is a complete map that will show you how your papers are all connected. So example, you want to read this particular paper. You want to see where are the connections. So you can see this paper, this paper, this paper, all connected. So there's a linkage. So from here, what are other papers that you can read? Okay, so you know already from here how they are linked. And you can also use this map in your literature review chapter, or you can use it in a publication and so on. So it just makes it look nice. All right. So that is all about Litmap. Any questions, please? This is as complex as one can get. And this one, I think I did 3 or 4 layers. I add and add and add and add. And these are all the latest papers on this topic, all from 1981, all the way here. These are all the related papers. Any questions? So no questions, huh? Okay, all right. So now let's go to summary of this this particular sharing lah. So processes to narrow or broaden the literature base in Litmap. So you need to get a seed or core article. You can call it whichever that suits you, core or seed article, and search under discovery. Choose algorithm and then filters. You choose papers according to specification. You can conduct a quick review by clicking details. May click expand or finish. If finish, you can export this file. If click finish, you can re-import the big file and start second order. So you can search and then search and then search. Okay. So now Google Scholar versus Litmap. Google Scholar is definitely free. If you ask me personally, I still like Google Scholar. Although it's extra work, but there is something called FOMO. You know what is FOMO? Humans have this a lot. Fear of missing out. Fear of missing out is very important in academia research because 50% of the research or papers, if it's not shown in Litmap, then that is FOMO for me. I scared if I'm a PhD student or master student lah. If I see such result, I would really think twice. Or what I would do, I would download all the resources on Google Scholar, I will upload into Litmap, and then I'll use Litmap. You can upload all the resources, and you can run it in that also. You can do that also. Okay. Google Scholar is more comprehensive than Litmaps. I've shown that already. Litmaps can cost around 60 to 100 USD per annum. You can check it yourself. You can also talk to Dr. Raymond, and we take zero commission absolutely by recommending this app. Okay. So from number 5, from Matrix, where do we go? Now we go to how do you explain, once you construct the matrix already, how do you explain the matrix? Okay. So this is type 1, non-comprehensive. So very basic one. This is from Dr. Siva. He graduated from UM already, I think 2 or 3 years ago. So all his papers already published. So I can share about this. So his matrix is very simple. His supervisor ordered a very simple matrix. Study, application of information system, samples, identified factors. So from there, he just explained a bit what is the literature matrix about. He proposed his solution, he moved on. That's it, very fast. Then you have something like this. This is what I call as comprehensive literature matrix. Very, very comprehensive. Crazily comprehensive, if you ask me. Okay, from here, you have all the authors' names, dependent variable, independent, other variables, theory, method, data, region. From this, how do you construct your research gap? How do you analyze this table? Okay, these are the steps. Check every parameter appearing in the literature. All these parameters according to categories, depending on what you want to look at. Okay, check the common variables if you're doing quantitative. If you're doing your own subject area, then go to your own subject area. Break it down according to your own subject area. Look at those that can be overexploited already. Perhaps you want to look at something new, something that is underexploited. What were the common theories? So something else can be explored. What are the common methods used? Can we mix it up? So these are the questions that you can ask from a table itself. Right. How do you explain this table? This is a good example. So first, you can start with the first paper. Okay, so you can see here the number of studies that examine drivers. This is Glynn supply chain management. The number of studies that examine drivers for the adoption of GSM practices showed the largest increase, growing steadily from 2005 to 2009, 2005 to 2009. It grown steadily, and even more rapidly from 2010 to 2015, which is in the next page. Like you can see more papers after 2010. That is why they analyze like that. Okay. So then they say the role of drivers in the adoption of GSM practice was studied in 6 years, 6 papers in the earlier period, perhaps because only a few manufacturing companies in the AE had implemented the GSM practices. So beginning part, very little literature looked into it. But as time grown, as time expanded, more papers looked into it. Okay. Then next thing, drivers related to the adoption of GSM practices showed a clear increase recently with 33 papers published since 2010. So you can see, wow, that's a huge increase. Meanwhile, literature studying barriers to GSM adoption began emerge in 2013, which is not here in the next page. I never pasted it here. Without overlapping with the research studying the role of drivers. Blah, 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 blah. They explain inch by inch, they explain everything because it's so much of data. Okay, so these practices have been widely used by other researchers to measure the adoption of GSM practices in manufacturing sectors in Malaysia. So these are all nation related. Then they go region-wise as well. So here you go region-wise, you can see here. So then they also go region-wise, then they go data-wise, they go method-wise, they go theory-wise, and so on and so forth. That's how you can explain a table in detail. Okay, any questions so far? Yes, it will, Najib. That is an unfortunate part also, Najib. Sometimes you can find predatory journals also from Google Scholar. So you must be smart enough to filter it out. Okay, to filter it out. Any other questions? If you want to be safe, don't want to be in predatory zone, go for index journals, PubMed, ABDC, Web of Science, Scopus, and so on and so forth. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Okay, literature matrix from a thesis passed without correction. This is from my client, very proudly, one of our alumni. I think so far of 30 over 1,000, we only had 5 or 6 passed without correction. But this is the first one who passed without correction from UM, from University of Malaya, which is amazing, knowing the standard of UM. This is our finest protege among 32,000 documents we have worked on. Okay, so this is her literature matrix. That quite comprehensive. She did quite comprehensive, very, very detailed. Okay, including author year, cognitive rehabilitation approach, design, control group, participants, cognitive function, intervention procedure, assessments, and so on. So this is a very good example from a student who got 0 correction. Okay, so this is her examination report. Viva was examination, Sharifah Maisara. If you want to see how email will be from examiners or chairperson, when there is no correction, this is how it will be. Degree without any amendments or corrections to the thesis. That means literally she can just bind and submit, done, no correction. Okay, there are 3 reasons to her being able to pass without correction. First reason, her publication. Okay, these are several points that the examiner highlighted during her Viva and also commented in the examination report. Comments, the candidate has already published substantial components of the thesis, which further give merit to the content of the thesis. Okay, all high impact publications. So that is the first finding. Okay, for those who are stuck, I'll come to the 2 more things that enabled her thesis. Okay, but for those who are stuck content-wise, topic-wise, research gap-wise, publication-wise, and so on, this is how we normally coach and consult students. Okay, students, this is proposal, this is systematic review, this is large group, these are workshops, not only students, with professors also. We normally focus on publication content editing, which focuses mostly on Scopus and Web of Science. And then we also guide students from beginning of their PhD proposal all the way to defense. Okay, we will guide them step by step, how to take one step at a time. And then we also inform them when is the right time to convert their journal into the thesis into journal. Okay, very, very important to do that while you are working on your thesis. And then we also teach them how to respond to proposal defense comments and thesis viva examiner comments, how to build a separate table, how to respond to every comments and so on. We also prepare them before they go for defense and viva by teaching how to do slides, how to defend, how to defend their own idea. We will grill them, we will grill them similar to how examiners will do. And we also guide them, or we also teach them how to conduct data analysis and interpretation to complete chapters 4 and 5. Okay, these are the 6 core areas normally we focus under consulting area. Okay, this is the first item, the publication, Dr. Sharifah. This is just to inspire all of you to focus on publishing. Or this is not only for ranking or UITM purposes and so on. This is, or any universities for that matter, this is for your own personal profile. When you go out of your PhD or masters, if at all, if you're going back to your service or going back to your full-time job, one day when you want to come back to academia, these publications are the one that will assist you in going back to academia. You never know where life is going to take you, right? So, as per our plan, normally, or what I will propose students, Sharifah also started with a systematic review, but published in Scopus only. Then the next paper, empirical, all 3 went into Web of Science. This is Impact Factor 2.4 Q2, Impact Factor 3.5 Q2, and the final one is Impact Factor 3.7 Q1. This is the first reason that she managed to get Viva without correction. Second reason is proofreading. Okay, her language. This one, honest feedback from the examiners themselves. All right, this is what we did too. Apart from proofreading, paraphrasing all the journals, we again proofread, paraphrased a thesis as well. This is the chapter 1, just to show you what we have done to the chapter 1. This is how we drill through the chapter 1. And the examiner's feedback is this. The thesis is largely well written with no stylistic concerns. If you can get this kind of comment from examiner, most likely you'll be getting minor correction. Okay, most likely. Minimum lah. Okay. And to all those heading towards thesis proposal and their publication also, we offer ultimate thesis package up to 30% off, which includes proofreading, translation, and formatting services. And we also provide lifetime language warranty. For all, even grants also, we provide lifetime language warranty so that we will address back any comments related to their thesis or proposal. Okay? For today, I'm going to give you these 3 important notes, last class today. Literature matrix for qualitative students and mixed method. I'll give you a paper to see how to produce literature matrix. Sample thesis with literature matrix. This is from Dr. Siba. I'll give you a sample thesis so you can see how we explain. I cannot give Dr. Sharifah yet because we got more papers to publish. And then the Word document of literature matrix, which you can edit and so on. All right. So, Dr. Khairon, can you share attendance list or Abra so that our students or participants can fill up the attendance list? Okay. So this one I haven't updated yet, but we got 2 more upcoming classes. I postponed to first week of December. I did not update the date. I never had the time to do that. Last whole week I was very, very busy. But however, this is the upcoming classes. One is 5 December. Okay, this is the upcoming class on Facebook Live. If you want, you can register yourself. Okay, you can register and attend the classes also. Upcoming. This one all finished already. These 2 upcoming for December. This is where we are located. Okay, before we go further, a quick questions to all of you. What do you guys think about today's class? So do you think it will be easier moving forward for you to go and produce your own literature matrix? Please let me know in the chat box. And you also know the weaknesses of AI tools. So be careful. Any concept, the other tool is consensus. Then you have Eclipse. Got many software now. So whatever tool you choose, please evaluate first the databases. Okay, the database, make sure you evaluate and you understand. And in December, I'll be also planning some additional Facebook Live classes. Okay, and then also we'll be planning to design new classes for next year. I'll be discussing with Dr. Khairun later. So you have the opportunity to propose what you would like to learn next year and also on Facebook Live. Okay, so what you can do is you can go to this particular link. You can review the class today. Share the link with you all. Okay. Thank you very much, Rahana and Aidil and Hidayatul. Please click this particular link, hit 5 star, don't hit less than 5 star. If you're going to hit less than 5 star, don't click that link. You can PM me on WhatsApp directly on what kind of classes you want next year. What are the things that you want to focus on? So far, in my mind, I'm thinking of focusing back on the entire proposal development and most specifically problem statements and so on. How to write problem statement, formulation of problem statement. This is what I have in mind. So what you guys can do, click the link above, or I'm sharing again, this particular link, hit 5 star, this link, in the comment there, write down what else you want to learn. So we can convert all those ideas into classes. All right, I'll be designing new classes lah. Such as chemistry research and so on. Okay, I think we can do that on Facebook Live, no problem, definitely doable. Okay, actually very interesting to look into that as well. Okay, so make sure you guys take 1 minute to click that link, go in, hit 5 star, write down what you want in the next class. Don't not 4 star or 3 star, 5 star. If you're going to give less than 5 stars, you can WhatsApp me directly. Okay, all right. Okay, so with that, thank you very much. Are you all on our WhatsApp group? If you're not in our WhatsApp group, please let me know. I'll share the link again. If you're not in our WhatsApp group, let me know. I'll share the link again. Okay, WhatsApp group link will be this. No problem. Thank you very much, guys, for your time. Dr. Abrar or Dr. Khairun, maybe you can take over. Okay, all right. Hi, Abrar. No problem, guys. Thank you very much.
Well, acknowledge. Thank you, Dr. Thava, for this debating session. Let's give a nice round of virtual applause. I think there all the questions look like we have answered all the questions. And I would like to address that. Dr. Our honorable Deputy Director, Dr. Eniza Sohana Mukta, is also joined us today. Would you like to say any words, Doctor, before we end up the session?
Hi, Dr. Eniza. I think probably she stepped out.
Okay. Honorable ladies and gentlemen, as our insightful journey draws to a close, I would like to pause for a moment of gratitude to our esteemed speaker, Dr. Thava. Your wisdom and insights have truly enriched us today. Your generosity is sharing your expertise and genuinely appreciated. To teach and every one of our attendants to your active participations and enthusiasm are the testament to your dedication. I trust that you are leaving this session armed with a practical insight of crafting the literature review for your research. Also, I want to remind again everyone about the attendance. The link will be confirming the attendance is now active on the chat box again, and it will remain until 15 minutes. To wrap up, let's come together in the unity for the Tasbih Kafira and Surah Al-Asr, making a fitting end of our session.